live, am I? Okay. I didn't find this evidence till just now, so I'm trying to balance this laptop. View warning, liberating. Do not listen. Back on the evidence I found of 7th October 2018, reference that I cause a delay to offer of adult health social care in United Kingdom, East United, in my area. Right. Olympics Care Services Limited, company number 078189958. Olympics House, Billingbrook Road, Northamptonshire, first floor. It's a limited company, right. Northamptonshire Adult Social Services Limited, company number 0522966, and 1 Angel Street, 1 Angel Square, 4 Angel Street, Northampton, United Kingdom, dissolved as a company, 31st July 2018 as a business. You're going to target me, do you? You're going to deframe me and slander me, do you? Puppet servants, civil servants, out there. Northamptonshire Trading Limited, company number 079200765. Catherine Ainshaw, Director. Leslie William Parker, Director. The Secretary, Matthew Bowler. Well, they brought in them. They're based at the same location, Olympics House, first floor, Billingbrook Road, Northamptonshire. It's a limited company. I've got nothing against these people. In this printout of Company's House, there's document evidence of that. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to agent is notice to principal. I'll repeat. Notice to principal is notice to agent, and notice to agent is notice to principal. My conditional acceptance offer, my recount claim offer will be going out. It's reference to a date they ignored and tried to steamroll me into setup of today's date, Tuesday, 25th of the 5th, 2019. I also set up, and no medical delivery, by the way, showed up, and email's gone off. Right, the Dun & Bradstreet number for also Olympics Care Services Limited is 217514757. The Dun & Bradstreet number also for Northamptonshire County Council Limited. We've got another one here, 07. That was Olympics Care. So the Northamptonshire County Council Limited number, company house number, is UC04071168. It's reference to the libel comments that was made on an email, reference date Wednesday, 17th of 4th, 2019. The 9th of the 4th, 2019. This is a full rebuttal. The letter's already typed up for me, and it will be sent out as soon as one is able to get the evidence of full disclosure of a lawful contract, full disclosure. Do you think I fall for this again because I've been so unwell? All contracts need to be in effect of all full disclosure by affidavit signed under penalty of perjury by a principal officer representing civil servants agent for those companies as mentioned. So therefore, everything you offered, re-offered, excuse me, the 24th of May 2018, the 6th of June 2018 to date, it's all null and void. You have no authority. So this is what I found out. You will cease and desist all process of all data. They are unlawfully yet again, like you did and set me up in 2017, the presumptions made on hearsay assumptions of personal opinions of an NHS Foundation trusts their civil servants, and that was fully rebutted 9 letters in that period of time. The false information being disclosed maliciously about me against me, with full knowledge by these civil servants, is a campaign of targeting me as an individual with complex disabilities, using my disabilities because of their service funding cuts in this area in the United Kingdom. If I hadn't been trying to look for something else today, I wouldn't have done those old emails at that period of time. Therefore, the document will go out with to immediate effect to correct your full libel or slander of your agents or representatives and cease and desist and disclosing false information and storing false information about my individual self, I of the living flesh and blood woman. So to get me to sign on false pretenses of presumption on the 1st of June 2018, knowing full well it's all nil and void, is one-sided documentation. Can we access all your statutory documentation in statute law they're using, by the way? Again, they need the consent of the individual. Again, this is why the actions and bullying in the comments made by Voiceability Limited, Total Voice Northamptonshire in my area. This is why they did not provide this time the full disclosure going through, they call this claim to be a remedy via going through Coventry area head office, a local government healthcare ombudsman limited company. It's all funded by former county councils, civil servants, ex-CEOs or senior management level, and all in England especially. County councils' public purse pays these bodies, so-called government bodies, to protect the image and the reputation of the public purse funded county councils, borough councils. They're all public funded, they're all limited companies. So an email dated Thursday, 16th of 5th, 2019 at 4:53 was sent with help by a private friend of mine to seek the full disclosure. This time, the offer by email. It was dated the 14th of the 5th, 2019, 1 week's notice. I thought that was a bit strange this time. Well, today I found all along what the evidence is and what has been happened. Right, a phone call by Home Group Limited. Well, a phone call made under duress as National Housing Company in the United Kingdom. No disrespect to men and women working there, but this individual female, Diana, as agent for this Peterborough area office, but they work online now. I found the additional evidence on a former email as well, and a document done going back 2017, 2018, when I offered to move out then, so they could do the repairs to the wet room to the local hotel when they wouldn't fund the original offer I'd offered. I have found out by further evidence of another email documentation I did that they were going to fund for that hotel. So the dates of the 31st of the 8th, 2018, by a former social worker, civil servant, and a former Care Act advocate of Voiceability Limited, and another date of when I just come out of hospital. That's where there's a setup then, it's on my channel here, that what happened on that date, why they tried to set me up with an adult safeguarding in that date of their different former advocate then also. It all tallies up together with the evidence of fact of emails, documented evidence, not just me saying it, but evidence. And then there's the further date of the 20th of the 9th, 2018. I wondered why you want to try and say or put the hold on the Care Act the Statute Law 2014. I'd wonder why that sudden comments were coming by a former social worker, civil servant, acting as agent for that public company just mentioned, and also that former Care Act advocate for that Voiceability Limited Company's agent for the company. Oh, let's just put that on hold, because obviously 2 hours at a time. And then that's when I found out that individual had my 54 years worth of my private medical data without my consent. I was misled. I had a witness on those two first meetings. I wished I never called those public servants in the capacity they're meant to offer vulnerable disabled people when they end up in hospital of doing no fault of their own in emergency, and you think you can call up to see if there's any offer adult care services, unaware that the North Hampshire County Council Limited Company financially would be solvent and be literally no funding, public funding, and all the service cuts. So by 31st of the 8th, 2018, as I mentioned, the company was folded. And so they carried on, and all the services are run by North Hampshire Trading Limited in conjunction with the Olympus Care Service Limited. By the way, the history why I'm stating these facts today is exposing the hidden lies of why they've been targeting me all this time. It's all to do with National Housing Company Home Group Limited deliberately not repairing my home for 1 year and 10 months to push me into a care home. That's all they wanted all along. It's all it's about. Because my care package in their eyes is high. So I'm having my private friends took over my care since 2014 because I was abused in my own home. I have document evidence. Do you think I had the gut feeling today was going to be set up with two social workers as agents for North Hampshire County Council Limited Company? Do you think I was going to fall for that? With the female, very female on this channel, you'll see what happened, that voice app of that video I did, and that was on the 23rd of the 11th, 2018. Well, I've been waiting 6 to 7 months for replacement of a social worker. So I took the matter to, I thought you might get remedy via the National Local Government Ombudsman Head Office in Coventry. Well, no, because on the 17th of April this year, 2019, the attachment document hid the names of the civil servants who attacked me personally and attacked me verbally in the sense of, oh, I don't have a medical equipment of a hoist in my home, do I? And then there's another comment, oh, we don't think she needs a hoist for a transfer. And then there's another assumption made that, oh, I need hoisting 4 times a day. Well, excuse me, your civil servants for Olympus Care Service Limited and for North Hampshire County Council Limited, where on earth did you get those comments from? Because I never said nothing like that. Don't you think I record my meetings privately? So therefore, I have found new evidence to bring a claim for negligence, for libel, for slander, on top of for the bail or duty of care in statute law 2. Right. On 18th of the 10th, 2018, the offer pushing off the claim of requirement of an offer of OT assessment by the Steps Department itself. Oh, by the way, Sue, was it your plan since 2017 to set me up again using Section 42 of the Care Act, which is a statute law, by the way? You need my consent as I have full capacity, and to imply, oh, we might need to do a safeguarding inquiry. Not without my consent, you do not. So there's a comment yesterday out of a female called Diana. Nothing against her. She sounded okay on the phone, and this is what she claimed. Oh, wouldn't it be good if I give her my consent to go and talk to this Voiceability Limited, this Care Act advocate or its manager? I haven't done that yet, and good job I hadn't, because today I found the evidence. All along I knew I was right. All along, my gut feeling told me I was right, and they failed me. And how many others like me have not worked this out and fall for this unlawful due process? So therefore, in the section 42, which I investigated and watched videos of, recent 2 emails went off again, as I said. Thursday was last week, and everything's bombarded me at once. I wonder why everything's going the way it was, and I've worked it on. Thursday, 16th of 5th, 2019, at 4:53, an email went, and it was counterclaiming of the offer of a meeting for today. Provide the full disclosure, what's going to be discussed and who it's with, and why is the opinion to bring along a stranger, I don't know. As another care advocate, is it? But nobody responded, you see, in time. So yesterday evening, which was Monday, the 20th of 5th, 2019, on my behalf, sent at 5:33 in the evening, was seeking the same requirement by today. And also informed them, unfortunately, I was due for medical delivery today after all now, and I would not be able to attend after all. In a way, good job I didn't go, isn't it? Because by actions of going to their invitation, that would mean I consent to their terms, one-sided, of offer contract in their system. And I would be bombarded, and it would be another trigger, and all along through all last year. How sad is it that my mate has done my document to fully rebut the points? I've got new evidence to go back to this so-called government healthcare ombudsman to reopen the case. Because the recent email I had recently, oh, this is why nobody responded to me, by Voiceability Limited, the head office CEO refuses to respond personally. So they brought it down to the same area as all control, because the contract they're meant to fund, and how it works. If you offered a care advocate, anyone out there, in the claim to be all you're vulnerable, and it would assist you to engage with their offer services individuals, civil servants. That's what is sold to me, by the way, all along. And I found that the local, they call this the Local Government Shared Services Law. It's a limited company, their lawyers and their office across the road from me in the new building opposite, and the head office in Cambridgeshire. And the contract is from them, nobody else. So I seek a full disclosure, full terms, conditions. This time, the full disclosure, or offer full contract terms, conditions, and no hidden agenda. So I always been the one to work honourably and lawfully, whatever offer a service that may be, to move forward, you see. If anyone's seeing this, that's what my always been about. And I know the change will be, and might be, in the end, to move into what's called assisted living, and with housing with care. And it might just mean I lose my secure tenure because of my situation and my needs. But the way they've gone about it is deceitful, and it's unlawful, and it's breach of human rights, the Statutory Act 1998, right to private life, right to privacy, right to family life, and let alone direct discrimination, and extreme harm, alarm, distress, and tort law, and the effect of the bereavement, grieving, going through a late mum. So to target me during all this deliberately, and now use other individuals working in their capacity, knowing full well financially during the October period, a former social worker did try her best, don't get me wrong, on assisting me in the offer of Department of Works and Pensions Limited via its private limited company. That's Capita Business Services Limited, head office in London. And all during that time, all those efforts of calls during that meeting, I really appreciate individuals' help. So it wasn't that female individual herself, it was coming from management and CEO level to literally restrict access as best as possible to anyone in my position to offer any goods and services. Because what they've gone and done for years, as previous, I can't bring it all up, obviously not here for that. But in 2014, I had to withdraw from the offer their services because they refused to offer the personal budget, the right lawful process. I knew I started studying certain subjects of law before my health deterioration. And I was having things happening on my own in such a multitude of ways. I can't even go into it now. I forgive those that transgress against me. I will always will, and always shall. But do not deceive me any longer. Okay? You're still trying your tactics, I know. But I have nothing against individuals per se. But when you try and set me up and discredit me and my character in a public way, yeah, and behind the scenes in civil servants, and that goes throughout the area in other services I try and access as well, and in your political arena as well. Sad times we're living in. And when I see this happening on a national level, because there's a deliberate, absolutely deliberate intent on the national statute platform and framework not to offer people in my situation equality of life to move forward. So reality means, unfortunately, with the way the system is now stacked up against people in my position, if you don't have your family network support around you anymore. And this, unfortunately, they've already made sure my character's been assassinated and liable to my own family members already now. Thank you very much, Northamptonshire Police Force Limited, your civil servants. I have photographs and stream evidence of what you've been doing to me recently. I have evidence of that. I have kind people. I talk to people. I treat people the way they treat me. Yeah, it's not every day I made to get out and about. But to do that when people are down and sick and not very well already, it's sad, isn't it? That you go on this unfortunate campaign of 24-hour surveillance and gaslighting them and targeting them, but use different methods so it looks more official and kosher. So while I have this rest of time on this short period on this earth, don't you think you need to look within yourself, in your consciousness, perhaps? Or don't you really care? You're that just personality. I just got to do my job. I'm just told what to do. Well, I think there's a saying there somewhere, isn't that? If everyone was just told what to do, you have a duty of care and you sworn an oath, whether it's a civil oath in your civil servant role as an agent for these companies, or it's an oath of office in your crown role as a peace officer in common law representing the Queen of England in your role. So if you are absolutely linked to the MI5, QCH, whatever it's called now, MI6, intelligence or using statute or investigating or powers act, I can't remember, is it 2000? And using underhanded tactics to do that. And then it goes into local towns and cities. So basically the easiest way is to discredit somebody and put labels on them they don't have. I survived attempted murder in my life on 13th of the 12th, 2002. Before that, I didn't have any diagnosis of psychological disabilities. mine's a result of attempted murder on my life. And of course, that's going to fragile the psychological mindset. And my physical disability started when my knee went bad, when I used to work out in the gym years ago. So I used to have a profile, political profile in the town, and this is what it's all about as well. You can't change the image in your face unless you face it, but you could dye your hair perhaps, but I'm just me. And that isn't good enough, is it, you see? But that's it. The depopulation of vulnerable disabled people is just a commodity. One is just a number on. It's about your signature on the documentation of value. And when you have a free mind and educated yourself and you become unwell, and you end up in the NHS system, National Health System, and unfortunately you find out anything you rely on, unfortunately, is reliant on by the Crown owned birth certificate, for example, and they need your signature on the document. So whether it's by email nowadays, isn't it, or by phone, there's a joinder, and they make profit. And it's null and void, really, because there isn't such thing as a monetary system in integration. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get held up on all this. Personally, I'm just aware of the options available to me, and I will be honourable and I'll be lawful, as I always am. But it hasn't been that way for a long time now, and now it's my time to move on. And I will be not having the offer of invitation the way it stands at the moment, and knowing the malicious and actions already being taken. So these individuals, representative agents, key individuals in the management level and CEO, will be served as again cease and desist and destroy all information they have no consent to hold of one. So I'm making this short stream really to make it known that I'm fully aware and I have the evidence. So I'm not here to just drag things out at all, but I've been the one disadvantaged and harmed. Nobody does. My private life friends does not do this to me. I do not do it to anybody or to myself. And you can see the videos that anybody's struggling with the offer goods and services. So when you produce the evidence of first-hand knowledge of the truth, but unfortunately it's not about the truth in their eyes, you see. There's a numbers game and there's a list, and basically it's about cutting down the list. It's about cutting down the public purse to rise up the statutory claim to council tax 5% in this area. I find out again today the reason why all this changes again, and people in my position in my area, is of the two unity councils by 2021. That's what they're calling unity councils, the first for England and United Kingdom. Setting the stage, this town's being used as a platform. Well, it is. It's already passed in their system in UK. So when you see this national trend happening to many others, and the cuts to their care packages if they're already in the system, and so basically if you need a hoist, all this medical equipment and two carers, in their eyes you see certain how they make their decisions behind the scenes, who knows, but it's meant to be democracy. Sadly not. And it is by I have nothing against moving forward and change. It's like anything in life, you can't stay the same forever, but I would like to think things could have been better and done much in a lawful as I said, due process, and it hasn't ever been. So during the time, as I said, when I was going through all this PIP assessment and there wasn't any support, my private life friends had to struggle to get these letters done and posts done and things like that, and emails, and it was late at night sometimes, like it is now. So when you need to keep your health, and it's been a long day for me waiting for a medical delivery that doesn't show up. So in a way, I suppose karma's working, or could say my late mum's spirit's working behind the scenes, because if I didn't have that medical, this I thought was going to happen, and got the emails as evidence, I would have gone into the lion's den, I suppose, that's the best way to put it in a way, and I would have not known no different. It's only pure chance that we're trying to get this document done, and my mate was going through my emails and found this out. It is hard to know this, because when the presumption kept saying that, oh, you need this, you need that, well, I always thought, well, hold on, if you acquire this off one, then provide a copy of policy where you will not refer me to the long-term team, physical disability team, of Northamptonshire County Council Limited. And I found out all along what it is today. So because when you're so busy and preoccupied in doing the emails, you don't go back in history and look at old emails when you're trying to progress with other things and happen all at once. And you're busy going through pills. And so basically on top of it, it's also, I know full well I'm not going to, what the saying is, bite my nose to spite my face, or something like that. I will make sure that officer services are done lawfully, and I know full well I need to somehow, the offer to put locks on my doors. First of all, one email with the housing subject is like, we could put your belongings in storage, we'll fund for storage for that, and that be safely stored. Because you don't know, things might go missing or whatever, with workmen in your home doing some work. But you got to stop and think, like, why would it take a letter? It's not a report, it's just a letter detailing all these repairs. Well, all of my correspondence has been deliberately to stress me out, to make me ill. Because of the 4th of I think I've got to go back in the email I got found today and yesterday, that in 2017 I was off a 3-day repair job, it was claimed. And then that letter I had was dated 25th of 9th, 2017. It's going to be a major gut out job, a whole new wet room. So ever since then, it was a rush job. Oh, you've only got 1 week to move out. But hold on, I thought you knew what my disabilities are and what care needs are. And claiming that they had a hotel room booked for me. Well, I find out it wasn't even accessible. And a 1 week's notice. And I've just recovered from a major suspected of a heart attack and a stroke, as witnessed by my daughter-in-law at the time. And she's done a statement of an email evidence for me. I won't go into how she witnessed all that right now. And anyway, that wasn't even used last year, was it? You civil servants out there, disgust me. I'm talking about the management level, not ordinary people with caseloads so high. And they're scared to speak out because they know, unfortunately, the reality of the situation is national, not just local, not just to me either. So how does one move forward now? Well, it is obviously the printout letter and to seek full disclosure, and doesn't matter what emails I send, or just get ignored. But that one which I've highlighted, I thought my friend would help me go live on this channel on this subject. It was claimed that I would cause a delay of a care package. that I will cause a delay for OT assessment, and therefore what happened was a former care social worker, public servant, civil servant, did put me on a waiting list to be allocated a new social worker, and that's what caused the problem. She'd been honest with me to start with and not rush things, especially with the bereavement and what's going through, and made it clear what was required. And the whole process was rushed. I've never, ever been able to complete a 40-page document. So many questions, it's unbelievable. B7 overview documentation. Never have I been offered accessible format and CD ever. And this is over a year now. You never, ever have this period of time. I've never known anybody, observe anybody looking and listening and watching people's blogs and reading about things to get information as well myself. And in case it was just me thinking it or whatever, no. You don't ever get waited a whole year. And you would have thought, wouldn't you, a civil servant would realise the seriousness when you have your disability living allowance offer stopped and you can't afford to pay for your extra disability costs. And then when you find out, to date, by the way, NHS England Limited, the contract with NHS Digital Limited companies, I've changed the digital now. It's all digital services for medical practices. So I can't even get through to my own GP, general practitioner, in its GMC, I can't remember the terms of the contract I've seen. You need to go on a private company's website app to put your symptoms in. Then it goes through any town and city where you live in, United Kingdom or England. Well, in this area, NC and NEAN CCG, Clinical Commission Group, another company funded public purse. And then that email, when you use this Dr. Link app website, is meant to send an email to medical practice surgery. And then they're meant to act upon that. And who's meant to act upon that? Because now these doctors in the job role are paid a huge amount, by the way. And, no longer is my accountable GP able to take phone calls from their own. I've never seen any change the terms of contract, offer services to myself in that, or via NEAN CCG Commissioning Group, or it's changed terms of contract. But all I've seen briefly is people's blogs about what's happening to them as well. So it works in every way, the subject adult health social care, because it includes, in one situation, for example, it includes your housing, your income, your ability to function, food, pay your way sort of thing, to live independently. And includes your healthcare. And so it's all linked together. So this housing individual the other day, she suggested, oh, why don't we have a round table meeting? No. It doesn't quite work like that, actually, because I don't consent to that, because it's too overwhelming. And when I found this information I just read about, of evidence of that today, unfortunately, my gut instinct and knowing what I've known for a while now, that's only when they have never stopped an inquiry. And please don't get me wrong, if there's genuine people out there that needs the support services and they don't know half things I know anyway, and of adult safeguarding, I don't know how it works for children, I can't comment, then if it's done lawfully and correctly, by all means. But when you find out the implications of new statute law, the Care Act 2018, it's known as the Mental Health Act, and it's not quite got the royal assent yet. That means a deprived of liberty and court protection and statute law. So if you are being pushed into a care home with high care needs, this is like a private company that got monopoly a lot of these environments, accommodation, so to speak, with care on site. That employee, as a care manager, can make in statute law an application to Ministry of Justice Limited, their court system, to deprive the human individual in their environment. So whatever dementia, learning disability, mental health, complex disabilities, because it's cheaper than paying to live in your own home, even though you social rent or private rent or own your own home. It's cheaper in the eyes of these political agenda and these individuals and the job roles, these private corporations, private companies. It's cheaper for them than to provide the offer, your choice, your outcomes, and your equality of rights of what care company and who, or PAs or funding to assist you in your daily life, to have a quality of life, to live a life in your own home. And this is a national trend, and this is what I found out even more today. It's really a shame. This is the life we are now. If I was able to walk, have my health, I would not have ever called, ever, the civil servants in my area. I would not even be living here. I would have been up and gone by now and lived off-grid in a community. I've said this a while ago. So also what they've been setting me up with is the offer of criminal injuries in statute law. It's like fiat currency on their documentation of the effects of a serious crime, the tort, all these years. I've not been in the fit state at all to be able to sign any of that, because it's just re-traumatization triggering me. And I've been too physically unwell to cope with anything like that. I can't even cope with face-to-face with anybody. Interactions with this offer or transition from PIP, DLA to PIP, because lawfully in statute law, the regulations on that too. I found I meet the criteria, and a lot of people out there do, but still the bonus is big business, isn't it? The bonuses that are made by these private corporations by the public first, and Department of Work and Pensions, a corporation, it's just out of, it's taking, how, this is why I see it, taking back the control yourself and independence is difficult when you know what your rights are and you're trying to uphold them, but also you're physically unwell. The state comes in and they see they need to protect the assets, and they see the physical individuals like myself as assets to make profit from. And it's known when you investigate what trust law is, and you investigate all that, if you ever get round to, God forbid, if you don't have, it's like the system, state statutory system, everything's done by commerce and business. It's all it's about. It's all about business and commerce. That's what life's all about on this earth. So when you become awakened up to these things, I have to go now because I'm getting unwell. But I just need to find a way forward, and fortunately I found an angle, and it might not be ideal, but at least I know now the score once and for all. So yeah, need to do meditation tonight, get some rest, but the setups will not stop. You know, I know that. And powers that be, I call it, might see observant in this. They do monitor things, don't they, these days? Anyway, I know I'll be in a better place one day, but not just yet. No. What you see is what you get. And it's like anybody struggling out there. There's still a lot of challenges ahead on this physical earth. The agenda to push people into those environments. So I'm not going to throw in the towel, but I'm going to go with my eyes full open as best as one is able to. And I need that information because the original offer to temporary move out, no. I need the full disclosure, right? So this is what this offer is, and that's what that offer could be. And then you can get help then to weigh up the options, knowing what I know in a little bit. I'm not expert in nothing. I'm just life experience. And by experience, I learn things, and if I find things out or what I go through personally, I'll share the knowledge for free. And if it helps somebody else out, it might not be able to do much in my situation. It might not get the remedy I need, and lawfully and honourably. But at least the information might help somebody else out. So you don't end up in my situation. You just don't know when you get out of your home and suddenly get injured or get run over or something happens to you, you know? So I've learned that from experience losing my mum. So it's not ideal, but and then you lose your connections, relationships with your family members because of this slander, this disinformation, this unlawful. It's been going on for too long, you know. It won't stop, by the way. I know how they work now, but at least I know who I am, and that's what counts. So little by little, we'll progress, but it will be a massive change. It won't be here. I know that now. But I don't know how the ins and outs will do. But as I said, by my way of coping, find a strategy. And if you have a belief system, you know, that's worth to hold on to. Because in the bigger scheme of things, no matter what all these individuals have done and not done, I know they will, what goes around, as they say sometimes, will come around. So God bless, keep safe, and be well best you can. If you're struggling, don't give up. It is hard work, and I like to think that the less deceit people have in their personalities, it's a shame that they just think about their jobs. There are good people that do care, I know, because I've experienced that. It's rare, I experienced that. But nowadays it's so rare because people are so fed up in their environment themselves, and perhaps in their jobs or whatever. And that affects how they offer goods and services because there are people breathing down their neck, perhaps. So when you consider that, it's not ideal, no excuse either. But at least when I was able to talk to this lady on the phone, it was an eye-opener, put it that way. So we're all just individuals, but some think they just have these power mad that goes to their head and they just think they can control over another, but you don't have control over me. You need to work with me, you need my consent, and you need to be done lawfully, and you have no authority by pushing your statutory laws onto I, the living, breathing, talking here, onto this device, and pushing the triggers and using that emotions. Sick. It's sad and it's below the belt. to use that against me. No. I have my full capacity and I will make my decisions. And yes, I do need the extra support in the way it's lawful and full disclosure, not to be deceitful all over again. So God bless, take care everybody out there, and I need to go and check something out and get some rest.